Cecil John Rhodes, born in 1853 as the sickly son of an English clergyman, he led an unremarkable early life in Hertfordshire. Little Cecil would go on to amass a fortune, though, through ruthless exploitation and genocide, despite his upbringing in the Church of England. In 1870, at the age of 17, Cecil was dispatched by his family to South Africa, a land abuzz with the recent diamond discoveries, presenting a promising opportunity for the young man to secure a brighter financial future. In 1871, upon his arrival in Natal, South Africa, Cecil initially joins his brother on a cotton farm. However, the discovery of diamonds in Kimberley just a year prior had sparked a massive diamond rush, and Cecil quickly abandons farming for the booming mining fields. In 1888, a pivotal moment emerges as Cecil partners with influential financiers such as the Rothschilds to establish De Beers Consolidated Mines Limited. Through a calculated series of mergers and acquisitions, often employing unethical or illegal tactics allegedly, De Beers solidifies its position in the industry. The initial discovery of diamonds in Kimberley was on land belonging to the Griqua people, an indigenous group. European prospectors, however, used dubious treaties and exploited power imbalances. The implicit threat of violence influenced the Griquas' decisions when negotiating the treaties to gain control of the land. Fresh off his success with De Beers, Cecil Rhodes wasn't content with just controlling the diamond market. By 1888, a new glint caught his eye: the vast unexplored territories of southern Africa, rumored to be brimming with gold. But there was one major obstacle: British control didn't extend far enough. Undeterred, Rhodes, the master manipulator, swung into action. He wooed investors and pressured British politicians. His vision: a colossal chartered company, a private enterprise with the backing of the British government, to seize and develop these territories. In 1889, he got his wish. Queen Victoria herself granted a royal charter to the British South Africa Company, or BSAC, with Rhodes as its head. This wasn't some explorers' club setting off for adventure. The BSAC was a ruthless profit machine. Rhodes saw himself as a modern-day empire builder, destined to paint southern Africa red on the map, the color of blood in the British Empire. The BSAC's land acquisition tactics amounted to ethnic cleansing. They used violence, intimidation, and dubious treaties to drive indigenous populations from their ancestral lands. These communities, who had lived in relative peace and harmony for centuries, were fractured and displaced. This company, and the man who wielded its power, would forever alter the landscape of southern Africa, leaving a legacy of wealth built on exploitation and genocide. Many Africans today understandably consider Rhodes as the British equivalent of Hitler, a monster whose greed and racism caused immense suffering and death. Cecil saw himself as a modern-day conquistador, a man destined for fame and fortune. But this expansion came at a horrific price, a price that millions of Africans paid with their lives. He was a ruthless opportunist with a thirst for power and a deep-seated prejudice towards Africans. Rhodes is frequently quoted using the N-word, highlighting his contempt for the indigenous peoples of the continent. The BSAC's land acquisition tactics were nothing short of brutal. Treaties were strong-armed, often signed by unsuspecting tribal leaders who didn't understand the true implications. Violence and intimidation became their chilling calling card, silencing any African who dared to speak out against the company's tyranny. This wasn't mere posturing. It was a calculated strategy to fracture and displace centuries-old communities from their motherland. Rhodesia, a name echoing the controversial figure Cecil John Rhodes, was originally used informally by European settlers to refer to the region he played a key role in colonizing through the British South Africa Company. Eventually, Rhodesia became official for the Southern Territory, now Zimbabwe, after gaining self-governance within the British Empire, while the Northern Territory, now Zambia, was called Northern Rhodesia. Many Africans today see Rhodes not as a great explorer, but as a villain whose actions mirrored those of the worst tyrants. His name stands as a symbol of a time when greed and prejudice trampled on their human rights. Cecil John Rhodes' legacy is one of the many despicable chapters in Western history. His wealth came at the devastating cost of African lives and land. Are the scale of his crimes comparable to Hitler's monstrous genocide? Both men were fueled by prejudice and a belief in racial superiority. What do you think? Was Cecil Rhodes the British equivalent of Hitler? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this exploration of history, hit that like button and subscribe for more.